What is up, Comic Book Nation? Connor Casey here. Today I am joined by one of AEW's biggest stars. It's Adam Cole, baby.
How's it going, man? Great to be here.
I'm doing good, man. I wanted to bring you in today because you got the Halo shoes right now. There's a lot of Halo talk going on, and I know you are one of the biggest fans out there.
Massive.
It's been a couple months since Halo Infinite dropped. What do you think of the game so far?
I am absolutely loving it. So again, I've been waiting for the next Halo since 2015 when Halo 5 dropped. I put hours and hours and hours into that game's multiplayer. I played every single Halo campaign. So I had a lot of high expectations for Infinite, especially for the campaign. I love a good story-driven FPS or a good story-driven game in general. And the Halo lore and the Halo universe has always been so fascinating to me. So once again, my expectations were really high. I was so attracted at the idea of it being an open world Halo, which had me really excited. I was excited for them to dive into more things with Cortana or the weapon or all this different stuff, more stuff with the Chief. And I can tell you, I was not disappointed. It exceeded my expectations in every single way. I've already played through and beaten the campaign on Heroic. I still have to go through it on Legendary and get all the collectibles and stuff. And the multiplayer has been fantastic as well. The thing that made me so happy is talking to all these different people who maybe hadn't played Halo since Halo 3, let's say. And now there are a ton of my buddies who are like, hey, have you tried the new Halo Infinite? It's awesome. So it feels like Halo is back in every sense of the word.
You mentioned the campaign. What did you think of the story and how it, with Halo 5, it was so Cortana-centric, and this way it kind of pulls it back until bringing her back in towards the end. How did you think they handled that whole thing?
I really enjoyed it, especially too, without going into any massive spoilers or anything. The story didn't end actually the way that I expected it to. And same thing, like you said, Halo 5 was so focused on Cortana, and now we have this new AI, the weapon, and Chief still with that longing for Cortana and wanting to figure out what happened to her, if she still is out there. I really enjoyed where they went with the story. They managed to take two brand new characters, one being an AI and one being the soldier, and making me completely invested into them. And I think Halo fans out there too really appreciated that they spent so much time and so much focus, literally the entire game, on the Master Chief, which is the end-all be-all when it comes to Halo.
Is the grappling hook the greatest addition they've made in years?
Without question. Aside from all the cool stuff that you can do in campaign and just your movement, your ability to escape situations, within multiplayer, it's incredible. Like the first time I saw someone, someone else was flying a Banshee and someone used the grappling hook to go up into the air and then hijack the vehicle and turn around and just completely change the tide of the game. What a cool addition. Again, I would have never thought of that as an option. The grappling hook is amazing. And again, because I was playing on Heroic, I can't tell you how many times the grappling hook saved my life just to escape situations. I haven't gotten good enough yet to be able to grapple hook a weapon out of the air or anything like that, but I'm working on it.
But between this and Doom Eternal, I feel like every game needs a grappling hook at this point.
Yeah.
What game would you add a grappling hook to completely shake things up?
Man. So actually, there's a game coming up, but it's not even FPS. But I do think the brand new Elden Ring coming out, because it is open world, the idea of eventually being able to gain access to a grappling hook there could be really, really cool.
Navigate the world a little easier.
Exactly. So I think that'd be cool.
Especially if bosses can just straight up walk up to you and it's like, oh, I'm going to wreck your whole day.
Right. I'm not ready yet.
On top of the game coming out, we finally got the first big trailer for the series.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
Again, when I say a long time coming, this applies to this television show as well. Just looking at, again, the trailer and the actors and actresses that they have involved, the Halo franchise has so much of a story to tell, and I do feel like this series is going to be very story driven. The CGI and the graphics and the action shots look incredible. I will definitely be watching this series from start to finish when it comes out. And anything more Halo related, I'm in.
For sure. They've already said like this is its own timeline. But what things from, especially that original trilogy, do you think they need to keep in this new story?
I think it's really important to still make the Master Chief someone that everyone admires and really looks towards as like again, this guy helped us save humanity in a lot of different ways. So again, I don't know how involved, if at all, the Master Chief is really going to be a focal point within this television series.
Right.
But I want him to feel really special. I would love the idea of them diving more into the Covenant's background as well, because I loved what they did with the Arbiter in 2 and 3. So I think that would be really cool. I love attention to detail, and I feel like the Halo franchise has always been really good at that. But at the same time, there's so much mystery around the Covenant and the Flood.
They got to touch the Flood.
They got to touch the Flood. That's what I was going to say next, because that's the one thing that I'm really, really hoping for at some point, whether it be the games or the television series, that they bring back the Flood, because the first introduction of the Flood in CE was so terrifying. All of a sudden, it turned into a horror game. So I feel like an episode or two where the TV show is a little bit scary with the Flood involvement would be awesome.
And like the third game, when High Charity shows up and it's just infected with him, you're like, oh, this just got so much worse.
It's so good. I forget the exact line, but Arbiter asked Chief
more
something.
Brutes, worse.
Yeah, and he goes worse. Yep, it's so good, so good. So yeah, more Flood too.
That is awesome. We were talking a little bit. What other games have you been playing these days?
So currently, right now, I do have a Twitch channel, so I love streaming on Twitch.
The Chugs.
Yes, twitch.tv/thechugs. But right now, I'm currently playing through Spartan Ops on Legendary. So that's like a kind of some side missions that you can do within Halo 4. Almost done with that. I'm playing through Dark Souls Remastered. I'm playing The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD. Never played that one before. Really enjoying it. I'm playing an independent game. It's like a Metroidvania called Ender Lilies, which is a really, really cool story. Very, very cool gameplay. Great music. I love video game music so much. And then Resident Evil 3 Nemesis on the PlayStation 1 I'm playing.
Not the remake, the original?
Yeah, the original. Okay. The original. So, and I'm almost done with that one too. So I'm about to swap out my cycle of games that I'm playing, which is perfect because Horizon Forbidden West comes out soon. And again, my other most anticipated game, Elden Ring.
There you go.
Yeah.
I know there's been a lot of talk of AEW's first console game coming out here eventually. Have you had the chance to look at it at all?
I haven't, but I can tell you from the things that I've heard and my own personal excitement, this game is going to be next level. Like I'm fully confident because the people involved are fully confident in this game. You know, to have a great wrestling game at our fingertips, especially through AEW, is something I know our fans are really excited about, and I know I'm really excited about. So when I get the chance to play this bad boy and check it out, trust me, my anticipation's through the roof. I can't wait.
Hell yeah. Everyone brings up No Mercy.
Yeah.
But were there any other games that growing up you kind of stuck with?
Yeah.
Wrestling games.
So all of them had the same template, kind of. So WrestleMania 2000, again, incredibly similar to No Mercy, but I loved that game. And then WCW versus NWO The World was another one.
Tour,
that was very similar to No Mercy as well. But aside from that, I remember enjoying Here Comes the Pain. That one was really, really good too. But those were kind of the main wrestling games that I really enjoy. I just recently played Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 for the first time. I had never played it before, but on AEW Games, I got to play it. And that one's awesome too. I love that No Mercy structure.
See, I missed the boat on that. When I jumped in, it was all the SmackDown versus Raw stuff every year. And I love it. But
Right.
It runs its course at a certain point.
Of course. And then everyone also has kind of the game they grew up with, or that style of wrestling game that they really enjoyed. Nostalgia is such a powerful thing. But for so many of us, No Mercy, that game template is where it's at.
Have they scanned you already for it? Or?
I have not been scanned yet, but I have my fingers crossed that I'm in this game. I love games. I hope I'm in the game.
I would hope so. So moving on to what's been happening in AEW lately.
Yeah.
Last we talked, Bobby had just signed. And now Kyle's here.
Yeah.
And now not only on top of that, but you're also teaming with Britt recently.
Yeah.
Having everybody in your corner now, what does that feel like?
It's incredible. Again, I've known Bobby and Kyle for over a decade. These guys are not just two of my on-screen friends, but they're two of my best friends in real life. I was at Kyle's wedding. I've been associated with Kyle in some way, shape, or form since 2009, and Bobby Fish the same thing. So we would travel together. We talk every single day. So to come from the run that we had in NXT together and now be here in AEW is a dream come true for me. And then as far as Britt goes, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Forever, when she'd be done with a promo or a match, she would FaceTime me afterwards when she gets to the hotel and we would talk. But now to be able to be there in the back and when she walks through the curtain and to be able to give her a hug or talk to her about how it went and just celebrate the night with her, physically being there is the best. And then getting to actually go out there and work with her is even cooler. It doesn't get any better than getting to do what you love to do with your partner.
Last week you made some headlines when Jay White arrived.
Yeah.
And you name dropped Bullet Club there later in the episode. Did you keep track of everything that was going on with that whole group while you were off doing other stuff?
I did, but I think I always have the mentality of, listen, what's good for business, we got to let bygones be bygones, Jay White coming in could be very beneficial to myself and the Young Bucks and Bobby and Kyle. So I think, at least for now, Jay White's going to be really useful to us.
Awesome. Has Bullet Club surpassed these guys yet? This is an NWO shirt, by the way.
So it's debatable. Some people will say yes, some people will say no. So I won't sit here and say that they have or they haven't. But what I will say is no one can deny they have made an incredible influence on the world of pro wrestling, especially these past few years. I think without question, when you think of dominant factions and dominant groups, Bullet Club has to be in your list. It has to be. So in that way, there's a lot of similarities to the NWO.
You also approached Hangman after the show, at the end of the show, actually. And I know there's been a lot of talk online about how AEW has used you so far. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like a program with Hangman would finally shut them all up?
I don't know. I think some people look at it and they think it's really, really exciting to finally be able to get the chance to step in there with a guy like Hangman, who I respect dearly. He's a great AEW World Champion. And then at some extent, I know some people, at the end of the day, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I know some people will be happy with the direction of where I'm going, and some people won't be happy. And that's just the reality of our situation and the pro wrestling business. I do think fans have a lot to be very excited about. I think especially where we're going and what's about to happen. So trust me when I tell you, there's some good things coming for Adam Cole, baby.
I can't top that.
Yeah.
Guys, you can check out AEW Dynamite every Wednesday night on TBS, AEW Rampage on Friday nights on TNT, and Adam Cole will be heavily featured on both. Adam, thanks for taking the time, man.
Thank you.